Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Reggae of Yourself podcast with me, your host, the Fuchaman and people. This afternoon, we got with us no other than the beautiful Miss Aleighcia Scott from Wales. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. It's nice to see you. It's been a long time. How are you keeping?
Very long time. Good. I'm missing live music most definitely, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep pushing forward, same as you, hopefully.
Yeah, and how is the lockdown in Wales?
It's okay, it's quite strict here at the moment. Basically, the only thing that's kind of open is supermarkets, and that's it. Everyone's pretty much in their houses, still the same kind of rules, them kind of ways. So
Mhm.
yeah, just trying to make the most of what we can do.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we're gonna get into some of the things that you've been doing to make the most of it in a minute. But we gotta start from groundation, the foundation, and first up. So where exactly in Wales are you from?
Cardiff,
Cardiff?
which is, I believe, the capital. Yeah.
Yes. And where in Cardiff? Because this thing we need to know, like literally village, town, city, streets. I'm joking about the streets.
No postcodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from a place called Rumney in Cardiff.
Hmm. Were you
Yeah.
born and raised there?
Yeah, I was. So my mum's a Rumney girl and my dad's from, so we would call the area the Docks, Riverside.
Hmm.
Um, and that's where predominantly a lot of West Indians came from Jamaica and then settled in Riverside, Grangetown. My grandparents came there and then their friends stayed there and they had families there and then the generations kind of grew and grew. But yeah, so my dad's a Docks boy, mum's a Rumney girl, and then they moved to Rumney, had me.
Okay. So this is quite interesting because also I didn't realize that back then when Jamaican was moving into Europe or the UK, they were going to Wales as well. People
Yeah.
never talk about England. No one ever talk
It's
about
never
Jamaican
spoken
going to Wales.
about. The amount of places I've gone to and I've said, oh yeah, and people are like, oh, so you're Jamaican? I'm like, yeah. They're like, but you're Welsh. I'm like, yeah. They're like, there's Jamaicans in Wales. I'm like, you've never been to Wales. There's lots of Jamaicans in Wales. Yeah. There's a massive, so obviously like during the Windrush era and before and after,
Mhm,
um, a lot of not just Jamaicans, but West Indians came.
mhm.
I don't know if it's to do with the fact that Wales is a docking city, docking country. So you've got the most prominent areas of Wales I've got West Indian communities would be Cardiff, Newport, and Port Talbot. And the
Mhm.
three that links them is they are all docking cities. So I assume it's that's the reason why. Um,
Okay, makes
yeah,
sense.
there's lots of us here.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, for me, it was new as well, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I've been to Wales many times. Well, I've noticed that there's a lot of black people in Wales, but
Yeah.
most of the black people I met in Wales is like African. The one
Okay.
that I actually met, they got like African background. Well, not that we Jamaicans are not African, but you know what I mean. I mean, people
Yeah.
who actually come from Africa to there, not from Jamaica to there.
I guess maybe it depends in Wales. It depends where in Wales you might be as well.
I think mainly Newport, so it could be that.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So now we discovered that your dad is actually, I'm asking this purely for podcast purposes because I think if I'm about 98% sure your granddad is from Chelon in Jamaica.
Yeah. So both my dad's parents are from Trelawney. My granddad's from
Okay.
Dwanville and my grand's from Sherwood.
Okay. And I've seen you there as well. So
Yeah, lots of times probably. I'm missing Jamaica badly right now, badly.
yeah. All right. All right. So I suppose that's where your love for reggae music come from. Did you start out singing reggae from the start, or that's something that you started at a later year?
I started listening to reggae from the start. So my parents, neither of them can sing, but they
Mhm,
are very, very musical. And so reggae was just always in my house. Reggae with a little bit of mixture of soul and R&B as well. And
mhm,
I just remember growing up, that's what I would be listening to.
mhm.
But then as I was singing, reggae wasn't really available for me to sing. So the things I was singing were kind of like R&B kind of based
Yeah.
until I got to about maybe like 18 and I started traveling further out to studios, so like London ways. So
Mhm.
reggae became more available because there was more reggae musicians in London and around London. So I think, yeah, naturally I always listened to reggae
Yeah.
and it's always been my heart. But I think, yeah, it was more available for me to sing from about 18. So I just naturally kind of moved into that being the predominant genre I was singing anyway.
Okay. So but prior to that, you have been singing like from a really young age, right? Because I've seen
Yeah,
video of you singing like as a tiny little girl. At what
yeah.
age did you start singing?
So properly out on the stage since I was about 7 years old. But even since before then, I would have been on a stage somewhere at some point, wherever, even if I'd go like on holiday, the kids club would start and I'd be right on the stage, or like school plays, I'd be right up there, just all the time, really. Or like if family would come over, I'd be like, sing them a song. So I just, yeah, just get amongst it all the time.
But do you know how that all started out? Why you just end up love singing and singing so much? Did you just wake up one day as a little girl and start singing, or what was it? Can you remember what it is that got you singing and singing so much from so young?
My first ever words were my dad was singing a song to me and I was trying to copy the words.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that naturally, I feel like, I know lots of people say this, but I genuinely feel like this is my purpose. So I just feel like that's what I was supposed to do.
Okay, well, it makes sense if you've been doing it for so long,
Yeah.
at
So
such a young age as well. Can you remember, as a little girl, the first place that you actually sung that make you think, wow, I actually need to do this more?
yeah, so I remember singing. So Cardiff used to do a big event every year called Cardiff's Big Weekend, and they'd
Mm-hmm.
have a massive stage show, and they'd have like huge acts from all around the world to come to the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then like fairground rides and all this stuff. And I remember being 7. That was one of the first shows I did, and little me with all these bags of confidence just got up and sang. I was part of a youth group called Expressions of the Young Kind. So
Mm-hmm.
we started in Riverside Warehouse, and used to be every Friday we'd get up and sing. And it's just a really nice space. There was lots of people my age and a little bit older,
Mm-hmm.
and we just like put backing tracks on and just sing and have fun, dance. And they started getting us different shows and stuff to do, and I just remember just loving it so much. And being even that young, I knew this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life, and my mind has never changed since then.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Amazing. So you write your own music as well. Like, have you done much writing for for yourself as well?
Yeah, so I do a lot of writing for myself, but I also do co-writes, or maybe I might write bits for other people. There's a
Mm-hmm.
bit of a mixture, but yeah, I do a lot of writing.
Okay. What was the first song that you wrote?
Oh, I remember even being young as 5 and just it probably made zero sense. But I just remember I've always written songs since then, and poems and that kind of stuff.
What's the first one that you wrote that you can remember?
Ooh, that is a hard question. I think maybe in youth club,
Mm-hmm.
around 13, 14. I remember maybe yeah, more 14, and I'd be in the studio there. So I went to one youth club in St. Mellons, and the youth workers there found me a studio to go to in a youth club in Llanrymney, both places in Cardiff. So in the studio in Llanrymney, the Baz who used to run the studio just really helped me to like harness in on my writing, and we just find instrumentals and I just sit and write to them and just record something at youth club. So that really helped me to kind of build my writing skills.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so maybe around those ages. I can't remember the exact song, but I remember putting it on MySpace. You remember you have MySpace? And
Of
I remember
course.
coming up with people like, oh, I love this on MySpace. So, yeah, so I remember
No,
doing that.
MySpace seems like 100 years ago, and actually it's only about
I
10.
loved MySpace.
It's only about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if that, I don't even think it's 15 years ago, when MySpace was everything before Facebook and Instagram come and replace it on YouTube,
Yeah,
you know?
about 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
right. So start writing, you said about 14 years ago.
Yeah, MySpace would have been
Okay. You almost tell me your age there, like literally.
almost.
I'm thinking about what age you was when
I'm
you wrote that
still young.
song,
I'm
and
still
it
young.
was
It's
14
okay.
years ago now. Okay. All right. So basically, what was your first official record that you record? The song. First time you record a song that you could just
Um,
listen to yourself
so
and a CD or whatever it was.
the first, I remember being in a studio at 8,
Mm-hmm.
and I had like a CD to take home. And then I remember being in the studio at 11, but they were covers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the first song I put out with a video was a cover, but it was a remix. But I remember You Don't Know My Name would have been maybe 2015 was the first song I really thought, okay, I'm going to put this out there. Because the
Mm-hmm.
other song I recorded, I just took the CD home and listened to it myself.
Yeah.
But that was the first one I put out, did a video, all that kind of stuff. People could download it.
Yeah.
Um, And then that's when I kind of realized, I didn't realize anybody was really listening. I did it because I loved it. And then like 20,000 people watched the video and I thought, oh, maybe I should just go forward with this now. So yeah.
Yeah. And so so your actual song, first one that you wrote for yourself and record and release, what is it called?
That's a good question. There's quite a few out there. Maybe We Are One might have been the first one I put a video out to.
Yeah.
Or there's one called Live the Dream, and it didn't have a proper video. It was just, you know, when you just get a picture of a skyscraper, that was like the thing back in the day. And then you just have it, like it just moves a little bit and the song plays in the background. That one, I would have been about 15.
15. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. No, that's what I'm talking about now, because you know, since you was 15 when you sing that song, before we go any further, I just want to give you the opportunity to give us a little acapella of that song. We all want to hear what it sounds like.
I don't even know what it goes like.
You haven't been watching the reggae of yourself, have you? This is what's happened here. No, we don't. Everything is done organic, no plans. People been put on the spot, and all of these things. That's what separates us from the rest of what's going on.
I can't remember what it goes like.
All right.
I have to listen to that now.
All right. I'm going to be nice and allow you to sing another one.
Okay. So I have another one that I wrote when I was 17. So around the age of 17, 18, me and a few of my friends, so who are artists from the area, so Cardiff and Newport, there was like a little group of us. So my one friend had a flat and he had like a bit of a sound system going on. So he used to put on instrumentals for us, let him sit and run, and we all just used to get out notebooks and sit and write. So I remember they played a Jay Dilla instrumental, and the tune was Dreamy. So I wrote a song called Blessed, and I put that out when I was about 18, I think that would be. And even now, I find it mad, and people come to my shows and they'll sing the song to me. They're like, "Sing Bless." I'm like, "Wow, you really been listening since that long. That's mad."
Well, that's amazing. So now you can bless us with a little bit of bless.
Okay, I remember this one. I know this one.
Okay.
Your heart is my soul, like wings it carries me through. After the struggles of a long day, you're there to help me through. I can't even count the times that your love saved me. But all that I know is, boy, that your love has changed me. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have you with me each day of my life. Feels so natural, oh so natural. This loving just feels so right. So blessed.
Oh, amazing. That's amazing. Your voice is absolutely incredible. That is amazing. I can't help but ask you though. That song sounds like a true story. Was that song a true story?
I was 18 years old, so probably at the time I thought it was really true and really deep. But yeah, so I was 17, sorry, when I wrote this song.
You sang it like you was singing it for, you know, about somebody for real. So I just have to ask that to clear it up for everybody that's watching and listening.
I don't remember the specific story. It might have been, but at the time it must have been something that meant a lot to me.
Okay, I like it. Well, we will make what we will of that. Yeah. All right. So, but that was a beautiful song to write at that age, may I ask? May I add? I think that was a very nice song to write at that age. You know what I mean? Though when we're 18, we feel like we know everything already anyway, and we're grown up until we pass that stage and look back, we realize we didn't know anything.
Actually,
yeah. All right. So that was a song you done then, and then you move on to release many other songs. When did you release your first EP?
So my first and only ever full project that's been out was an EP with Peckins Records, and that came out in 2018. Actually, it's about to be 2 years since that's come. Whoa, no, not 2 years. We're in 2021 now. Wow,
you're a teacher, aren't you?
3 years.
You're a teacher.
I was a teaching assistant, and I am a workshop facilitator. So maybe I can give that one a little blabber.
Yeah.
It's been a long 2020. I thought we were still there. That's why.
It is. I can let you off because very often I don't know what day of the week it is without checking my calendar. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So
so it's about 3 years since that came out, and that's
mm,
the only project so far, full
mm,
project that's been out so far.
how many tracks is on the TP?
So funny you should ask. So it was supposed to be 6, and then we added some remixes, and it ended up being 9. So technically, you could
It's
say an
almost an
album.
album. Yeah, it is literally an album. But basically, I had a interview with the absolutely amazing Eva Lazarus the other
Oh,
day,
she's amazing.
week. And as you know, like yourself, she's also mixed race.
Yeah.
And she spoke to me about growing up in a few different places. Actually, she moved around. But
Okay.
as a young mixed race girl, because of her hair and stuff like that, and what it was like for her growing up in school. Now, it would actually be absolute. It would be an absolute outrage for you growing up in Wales, which is not as multicultural like Bristol and other places in England, not to ask you what it was like for you growing up as a little girl, being a mixed race girl in Wales. How was it for you?
For the most part, I've just been blessed to be a part of so many different cultures. I've definitely experienced some not so nice stuff from like a young age.
Mhm.
Um, I remember being 7 was the first ever time that I'd realized somebody had been racist to me. But maybe people had been before, but I'd never really, nobody'd ever openly been so. And I remember being in class and someone said to me, Miss, the teachers were separating us into like, oh, so this table is going to be this person and that person. And kids in my class, so yeah, about 7, 8 years old, said, Miss, I don't want to sit next to her because she's got dirty skin. And I remember just being so confused
Wow.
because I think at that age you don't really realize you're different.
Yeah.
And then when someone points it out to you, you're just like, I don't know, it's just confusing. But I've always been taught my cultures like very heavily on both sides.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, but on the other side, I just feel like, yeah, again, it's just been nice to be involved in so many different cultures and just seeing so many different points of view of the world as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I've definitely experienced pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I'm asking is I have got a lot of mixed race friends here in the city and also mixed race kids as well. And
Yeah.
one of the reason why I want to find out from your point of view, living like in a different country as well, is because like some of the mixed race people I speak to, some of them say that for some people, they're not black enough to be black. And for some people, they're not white enough to be white. So I want to just check to see if like living in Wales in a different country, whether or not you ever felt like that at all to people you come across or not.
I think it just I've been heavily involved around, so like in the school I was in primary school wasn't very multicultural,
Mhm.
but at home I was always around like predominantly really like my dad's side of the family.
Mhm.
um so I never noticed when I didn't see everybody, if that makes sense. I don't know
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes sense
yeah.
what I'm trying to say,
No, but
but
that's
yeah.
a good thing. It is a good thing if you never actually have to
Yeah,
encounter stuff like that. You know,
but
just
yeah,
lots.
I've definitely noticed some not very nice stuff, but I would like to hope that going forward, um, Wales is working on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. The world is moving forward, thankfully. It's a beautiful thing. So hopefully, before we know, people will just be viewed as people other than what people
Which
want
we
to view
need
them as
before.
because of their
Yeah.
color of skin, you know? Okay, let's step back into music. So, can you tell me, of all the places you have been singing, where sticked out most for you ever? Like really sticked out for you, like leave you with such an amazing memory.
Jamaica.
Tell me about that.
I just feel like obviously I was born in Wales, grew up in Wales, but
Mhm.
as I said, I've been always around my dad's side of the family, so the culture has just been ingrained in me. So when
Mhm.
you go to a place and the culture you've been brought up in is the
Mhm.
culture that you're seeing every day, I just feel like you kind of just align.
Yeah, yeah,
And then obviously the genre of music I do is
yeah,
the dominant genre there. So I'm even like walking in the bank and Beres Hammond's playing on the speaker. So I just feel like it's just so nice to go there and do what I love there and then see my family at the same time and eat loads of food. But it's just yeah, for me, it's just beautiful to be there and make music, because obviously I'm in the studio there too, and to see live music. There's always events on, obviously pre-pandemic.
Mhm.
Just electric. I just can't describe it any other way. It's amazing.
Okay, thank you. Also, I have noticed that you was also working with one of the biggest DJ slash selector slash producer that Jamaica ever had to offer, Rory from Stone Love. How did that came about?
So I've been posting lots of videos and stuff on my social medias of different performances.
Mhm.
And Rory reached out to me. He said that he'd seen the work I was putting in, and he'd watched a lot of my performance videos, and he wanted to record me, but he wanted to record me in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So obviously, because I still have some family in Jamaica,
Mhm.
a couple of weeks later, I jumped on a plane, went to save my auntie, and then I started recording, and that was 4 years ago almost. So yeah, we've just been working ever since.
Amazing. Have you released any of the songs you done with him yet?
Not yet. So the album, we got a whole album coming,
Oh wow.
and that's basically pretty much almost finished. It
Mhm.
was supposed to go out this summer just gone, 2020,
Mhm.
but obviously because of the pandemic and that kind of stuff, we kind of have to put a little pause on it.
Yeah.
Um, just because we want to make sure we give the album the full potential it can get, as in we want to tour, we want to share the music with as many people as possible, and I just feel like we wouldn't have been able to give the album justice if we released it last summer. So yeah, I'm so excited to share the work we've got. The work is just insane. I cry every time I listen to one of the songs.
That's
Good to cry.
amazing. That
um
is amazing. Is the album feature anybody? Have you got any
no,
feature on it?
no features.
Okay, so of all of the artists them that you met down in your travel in Jamaica, or even have met yet, name me about 3 artists that you'd love to feature on or with.
So there's definitely, these are my 3 artists I would love to feature with that I've met, and I just, their work rate is insane, and I love all their music. So Taras Riley,
Mhm.
Mortimer, and Leela Ike, they're my top 3. There's so
Okay,
many artists I
I
love,
got
but
Taurus Riley, Lila Icon. Who's the other one?
Mortimer.
Okay, okay, yeah. Amazing. Those are like really, really amazing artists. And I'm pretty sure all of that is possible as well if you're working with Rory. He got contacts with everybody, any and
Would be
everybody
nice.
that
Would be
we're
nice.
contacting with in Jamaica. Yeah. Oh, wicked. So basically, what is coming up for Aleighcia that people need to be looking out for?
So I just released a brand new single called I Want You, produced by Kongs,
Mhm.
who is amazing producer and also band leader and drummer for Protege. So
Okay.
we've got some more work coming very soon. There's also going to be some videos,
Mhm.
and then yeah, everything goes into the album then. That's going to be coming soon too.
So that song is out now.
Yeah, it's called I Want You.
Okay, well, I want you. Now, what I want you to do is to sing us some of that.
Okay. Nice and easy kind of love, cool and breezy like a Sunday morning. Oh, every time you cross my mind, it's like ooh, and I want you, baby, you, 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 baby, you, you.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's really nice. Thank you. Thank you.
I was
Um,
actually talking about you yesterday to my mum.
did you? What did you say to
Yeah.
your mom about me?
And I said, good, all good stuff, all good stuff. And I
Okay.
said, I remember like back in the day when I was first starting out,
Mhm.
and whenever I'd see you at a stage show and you were performing, you would always bring me up on stage. So I was hailing you up to my mum because I was saying like how good that was. And I remember being in a place near my hometown, I'm not going to mention any place names,
Yeah.
and a big reggae show. And I
Yeah.
remember you stopping the show and saying, this lady over here should have been on this show. Come on the stage. And I remember that everywhere I go and I'd see you, just bring me on stage. So I was hailing you up, and
Yeah.
I want thanks for that, because you know, like sometimes when you're starting, and it's scary because you've got to put your all into it. And I
It
think
is.
I feel like I remember a few times when you said, like, I can see the work you're doing, so come on, get on the stage. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, you were most welcome. Can I tell you something about that I probably shouldn't have probably shouldn't mention because I'm not going to edit it, but I'm going to say it anyway because all right. So like the podcast and everything that I do is because I genuinely interested in artists and I'm interested in artist story, even though I'm an artist myself. And I also do strongly believe that there's a place in the world and the music business for every artist, whatever they sing. All right. So for me, I have never feel afraid of promoting another artist because I'm not in competition with anyone. I don't feel like I need to. So because of that, I'm always open to support any artist whatsoever. Right now, I saw you from those times as a young, you probably was a teenager when I first met you. You was a teenager. And then I realized that you was very talented. Now, that particular promoter, I was doing a lot of shows for. From Newport, few shows in Newport to Cardiff and things like that. I was working with that promoter all the time. But my conscience now, that night, that particular gig that you're talking about, I look at you and know that the promoter knew who you were. And I thought that actually you should have get an opportunity to actually sing on this stage here because this is your hometown. And I realized that for a female artist, doesn't matter how good you are, sometimes you have to work a lot harder than a male artist, even if you're better than a male artist. But I am my mom is my favorite woman in the world. I got a lot of sisters and I do appreciate female artists as well. So that night I called you on stage and I said that you should, like I said, this is your hometown and you should be on the bill performing here. I think in doing so, I don't regret doing it because I went with my heart.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I have not deliberately, but I have embarrassed the promoter. And the promoter was not happy with me from the moment I came off stage. And he never booked me again, like literally, never booked me again. I even messaged him about an event he was doing and he didn't reply. I have never worked with him again. And I think, so people and other artists on the same night that was there, they said to me, Future, I think you embarrassed the promoter because he wasn't very happy because I said that. But you know what? I did it. I left feeling fine in myself because I'm like, this is in my hometown when something was going on there. I always want to be a part of it. And especially if opportunity is not coming around very often for you to get on a stage like that with so much big artists there and so much people there in your hometown, you should be in it. You should have been on the show. And that was my genuine feeling and thoughts. So I call you on. Maybe I shouldn't quite go as far and say, this is your hometown. You should be on the show. Maybe I shouldn't lay it on so thick. Maybe everything would be fine with the promoter.
Like you said, you went with your heart. What can you do?
I went with my heart, so I don't regret it. But I never said it to you before, and I probably wouldn't raise it either. But I just figure, like, since you brought it up, I'm gonna let you know. Ever since that time, because I used to play in Wales all the time until that night. Because you know that promoter got a few venues, right? So me and Troy Ellis and Talisman was playing in the other venues, not just that one. And so it was us that was doing the rounds, but I was struck off everything else after that. So the other guys them did point out that the other guys.
Your heart is. That's the
best thing. I went with my heart and I'm just thinking, you know what, man, if you feel like that and if that hurts you, then you should have done better because you know who she was and you know she was there. So that was on him. So I don't feel bad for it. You know what I mean? I think he should actually feel bad for actually. I didn't do anything wrong. Sorry, I don't know what to say. It's just a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy. But after that night, he cut me off. He didn't reply to none of my message, nothing at all. And we was quite close. But like I said, I went with my heart. I'm quite pleased I did it. The people absolutely love you when you come on stage. I know I did the right thing. If he got a problem, then so is it. I wasn't rude. I was just speaking from my heart. But there you go. So, yeah. So anyway, where can people find Aleighcia Scott?
You can find my stuff in a lot of places. All my music's available on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, all them kind of places. YouTube, there's a lot of videos and stuff. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Aleighcia Sings and Facebook.com/Aleighcia Sings.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Also, was there a message you'd like to send to the Reggae Up Yourself viewers, listeners, and your fans in this time right now?
So I just want to say big thanks, obviously, to you for having me on here. And also massive thanks to everyone tuned in and to the people who support everything I do and obviously support the podcast, because without people tuning into the stuff I do, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So yeah, I'm just definitely thankful for that.
Excellent. Aleighcia Scott, it's been a real pleasure and an honor to see you and to talk to you again after all of this time. And I want to wish you a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and a lot of success with your career.
Thank you.
And
Same, exactly the same.
Thank you. I look forward to see you soon and say
At a
hello.
live show.
Yes, at a live show. And say hello to your mama for me, right?
I will. I will.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Big love. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.